For decades, when people heard the name Onitsha, certain images came to mind. Crowded streets, noisy markets, chaos, and struggle. Some admired its hustle, others dismissed it entirely. But here's the question few people are asking. What if the Onitsha you think you know no longer exists? Because beyond the stereotypes, beyond the headlines, Onitsha is changing. Quietly, unevenly, but mistakably. And today, we are going to look at the city as it really is, not as it used to be, not as critics or admirers alone describe it. To understand Onitsha today, we must first understand why its old image became so powerful. Onitsha grew into one of West Africa's largest commercial hubs long before modern urban planning caught up. Trade expanded faster than infrastructure. Population growth outpaced regulation. Informal markets filled gaps where formal systems failed. The main market, once among the largest in Africa, symbolized both Onitsha's brilliance and its burden. It created wealth, jobs, and national supply chains, but also congestion, safety risk, and disorder. For years, commerce defined Onitsha more than urban planning, and that imbalance shaped public perception. Reputation matters, and Onitsha's reputation came with consequences. Investors hesitated. Middle-class families relocated. Media narratives froze the city in time, as if no evolution was possible. But cities don't stand still. They adapt, especially when pressure becomes unbearable. And in Onitsha's case, pressure came from population density, infrastructure collapse, fire disaster, environmental concerns, and competition from newer urban centers. These forces made change unavoidable. While public attention remained fixed on old images, Onitsha began adjusting behind the scenes. Urban expansion pushed development outward, towards GRA zone, inland neighborhoods, and adjoining towns. New road projects, drainage upgrades, and traffic management efforts began reshaping movement within the city. Modern malls, mixed-use buildings, and gated estates started appearing, not replacing markets, but diversifying the city's identity. This wasn't a sudden transformation. It was gradual, messy, and often overlooked, but real. Let's be clear, Onitsha is still a trading powerhouse. That hasn't changed. What has changed is how commerce is organizing itself. Wholesale distribution has become more structured. Some traders are relocating warehouses outside the city core. Digital payments, logistics services, and formal supply chains are increasingly common. Younger entrepreneurs are blending Onitsha's trading culture with e-commerce, branding, manufacturing partnerships, regional exports. The hustle didn't disappear, it matured. Now, balance matters, and this is not a fairy tale. Onitsha still struggles with traffic congestion, waste management, flooding in low-lying areas, housing pressure, informal development. Some infrastructures remain overstretched. Enforcement is inconsistent. And not all residents feel the benefits of change equally. Urban transformation is uneven. And honesty demands that we acknowledge that. Onitsha is often compared to cities like Lagos, Aba, or even Kano. But here's the truth. Onitsha was never designed to be those cities. Its strength lies in trade networks, distribution efficiency, entrepreneurial density, cultural cohesion. Judging Onitsha by aesthetics alone misses its purpose. Yet, even within that purpose, the city is proving it can modernize without losing its economic soul. Onitsha's story is bigger than Onitsha. It represents how African cities grow, not from master plans, but from survival, adaptation, and reinvention. It shows that informal economies can evolve. Old reputation can expire. Cities don't need approval to progress. Change doesn't always arrive with headlines. Sometimes it arrives quietly, street by street. So the real question isn't whether Onitsha has changed. It's this. Can public perception catch up with reality? Can policy, planning, and investment align with the city's momentum? Can development be inclusive instead of selective? Can growth be sustained instead of reactive? Onitsha's future depends not just on infrastructure, but on how Nigerians choose to see and support evolving cities. Onitsha is not perfect, but it is also not what you think anymore. It is a city in transition, shaped by history, driven by commerce, and slowly redefining itself. If you still judge Onitsha by yesterday's image, you might be missing today's reality.